Hello everyone, TimeToGrind here, and I play a lot of roguelikes and roguelites, and for the last couple of years they actually end up being one of the biggest genres of games that I cover on this channel. So today I wanted to go over my personal top 10 favorite of them that came out in 2025. I only include games that have fully released, so early access games have to wait until they fully launch to be included on lists like this. So no Crab Champions, He Is Coming, Nine Kings, or Die in the Dungeon. Also, for most of the games on this list, I have at least one video and sometimes entire playlists, so if you want to see more of any of these games, then click the links in the description down below. And I'm grouping both roguelikes and roguelites, the ones that have more meta progression, in the same video, so I'll be jumping between those terms depending on what I consider the game. But without further ado, let's jump into it. At number 10 on my list, we have one of the most satisfying roguelikes ever, Slots and Daggers by Friedman. It's one of several slot machine roguelites that came out this year, but it is 100% the one that gives me the most pure dopamine. Everything in this game, from the sound effects to the visuals to the coins shooting out of this machine when you earn money, just feels so good. You have to go from area to area killing monsters by getting certain things like shields or swords on a slot machine, and you can buy upgrades and spells from the shop, and there's a bunch of meta progression to help push you to a victory eventually. The only reason this game is number 10 on this list is because of how short it is to beat. I beat the game in 3 hours, and there isn't a whole lot to do after that, but for an $8 game, it was a crazy fun experience, and there is more content being planned for the future. Number 9 on my list is Ball X Pit, or Ball Pit, however you pronounce it, by Kenny Sun and Friends and published by Devolver Digital. It is one of the most AAA or AA feeling roguelite games on this list, and it's kind of expected with Devolver behind it. It's a brick-breaking roguelite that has way more depth than you might first expect. There's the normal gameplay shooting enemies with your balls and bouncing them at certain angles, but things open up when you find you can combine pretty much any other ball with any other ball, hence the Ball X Pit naming. You could combine air with poison to get Air X Poison, and there's entire special evolutions on top of that. There's a ton of characters, worlds, and a whole town building part of the game that helps break up the gameplay and provide a good sense of progression as you build buildings that increase your stats or unlock new characters. So an absolute great roguelite if you really want to sink your teeth in a ton of content, plus it's got a lot of balls. And at number 8 on my list, we have a roguelike that I don't think too many people will be mentioning, and that is Mortal Sin by Nicolo Todorovic. Mortal Sin has been in early access for several years and has clearly been an immense labor of love by the dev. It is extremely different from most of the roguelikes on this list, as it is a brutal hack and slash roguelike with so many different classes. The dismemberment is so satisfying as you cut away body parts from these horrific monsters and kick them, super hard, and there is an incredibly in-depth combo system for those that want to get really good and master this game. But don't worry, there's also options that help show you random combos throughout gameplay to help for more casual players like myself who didn't want to learn a whole list of combos. The game has a crazy unique visual art style as well, and before release actually got a more realistic art style to help appeal to a wider audience, but if you like the trippy color art styles, you can still use them. It asks you at the beginning what art style you want to play with. So if you want a good hack and slash roguelike, I really think Mortal Sin is one of the best out there, and not even taking into account games just coming out in 2025. Number 7 on my list is, funnily enough, another slot machine roguelike. I don't know if I'm just biased towards slot machine roguelikes or if this year just had a bunch of good ones, but CloverPit by Panic Arcade manages to be a very different experience than Slots and Daggers. Instead of a cozy bar game, you've been kidnapped and forced to pay increasingly high amounts of money, otherwise you die. And in order to earn money, you must use a slot machine while also getting different relics to try and increase your chances of certain symbols appearing or increasing the value of them. And unlike Slots and Daggers, there is no meta progression. Instead, you find out that even if you win, you still die, so you must piece together secrets to discover the true way to escape, and there's a ton of secrets and a huge variety of different builds with the insane amount of relics in the base game, plus a ton more you can unlock. So if you want the ultimate roguelike slot machine nightmare, CloverPit is definitely for you. And at number 6, we have Nubby's Number Factory by Mogdog Blog Productions. Another hilarious $5 roguelike that has no right being as good as it is. All you do is bounce Nubby down a Plinko-style pegboard and try to earn enough money to move on to the next round. And of course, to do that, you're gonna need to put together a build using a bunch of different hilarious/cursed relics. And when you get a broken build in this game, oh man, does it feel so satisfying. Just watching the ball or Nubby bounce around over and over and giving you a million or trillions of points will never not be satisfying. The old Windows kind of art style gives the game a really good charm to it, and the amount of content in this game from all of the different characters and challenges is extremely surprising for, once again, a $5 video game. So if you like all of these weird little roguelikes, this is some of the best $5 you could spend. And now halfway through our list at number 5, we actually have one of my most anticipated games on this list, and that is Haste by Landfall Games. I've been a huge fan of Landfall for years, ever since Cluster Truck, Stick Fight, Totally Accurate Battlegrounds, Rounds, and more. And when I found out they were making a parkour roguelite, I have been so excited. So when it finally released on April 1st this year, I was hooked. I absolutely love when people mash other game genres with roguelites, and I gotta say, a parkour roguelite works really, really well. They nailed the feeling of just flying down these procedurally generated maps going a million miles an hour. There's a ton of items you can get in runs to help with different aspects, like healing you or giving you invincibility at times. And you can put together builds, and although I do wish the items did a bit more, I do understand they had to be a bit light-handed with how crazy the items get when paired with the parkour stuff. There's only so much you can do, and I do think they did a good job. There's a really interesting story as well across different levels, and then there's an endless mode, and they even added a multiplayer mode, but this game is just so incredible and honestly creates an experience I don't feel like you can get anywhere else currently. At number 4 on my list, we have the sequel to one of the best deck building roguelikes out there, Monster Train. So Monster Train 2 by Shiny Shoe is literally everything you loved from the first game and a ton more. If you've never seen or played Monster Train, it's similar to other roguelike deck builders, except you're driving a train to hell, or heaven in this game, and you choose 2 different factions each run, and you get monsters to defend your train from invaders, and can upgrade your units and spells and combine them and duplicate them and get crazy relics, and it's really hard to explain how much you can actually do in the game. It's not considered one of the best roguelike deck builders for no reason. And the sequel is everything I wanted it to be. It improves on the first game with some huge gameplay changes like the new placement phase, the different pyre hearts, and includes tons of fun new factions. This is easily a game you could put hundreds of hours in, and I know people in my own life who have done exactly that. So if you've never experienced Monster Train and are a fan of roguelike deck builders, you need to try it out. And just jump into the sequel. There's not really a reason to play the original now that the sequel exists. It's pretty much better in almost every way, though I do hope they add the multiplayer mode from the first game. That one was great. And at number 3 on my list, we have the new breakout hit Megabonk by Vetinad. And I'm sure most of you guys have heard of this game at this point, and for good reason. It's one of the most pure, fun roguelites out there. It's kind of like a 3D Vampire Survivors and plays a bit similar to Risk of Rain 2 in terms of the different items you can find in the chests during the runs, but it is just so freaking fun. There's a ton of different characters that I'll play differently, like my favorite character of all time, Calcium, the skateboarding skeleton who gets stronger and stronger as he gets faster and faster to the point where you are just flying across the map sometimes. And there's a ton of achievements and quests to guide you through the content across multiple runs, very similarly to how Vampire Survivors keeps you going with its gameplay loop. The music is great, and I just really have to nail down how freaking fun the game is. It's not like a story masterpiece or super crazy innovative. It is just so dang fun to the point that I think it deserves number 3 on my list. At number 2 on my list, we have the most underrated roguelite on the entire list, and that is No Skin by No Eye Soft. No Skin is a horror roguelite that might not be for everyone, I'm not gonna lie. It is extremely graphic, it has themes of self-harm and more, so feel free to skip this if it's not for you. But for those of you guys like me who absolutely love a good psychological horror game, this is exactly that with the gameplay loop of a roguelite. It's a turn-based game that has you trying to find 100% of the skin for the No Skin Man, a terrifying creature who demands you find it all or you will die. And what makes this game so special is how much content is actually hiding behind its $7 price tag. There are secrets upon secrets upon secrets in this game. Like, what happens if you get more than 100% skin? What happens if you beat the game with, this other character? What happens if you talk to certain enemies to unlock unique dialogue hinting you at other secrets? What happens if you do this or that or this or that? There is just so much hiding in this game, and I do not want to spoil everything because you should definitely experience it for yourself. But if you want, we have had a bunch of No Skin videos popping off in the YouTube algorithm recently, so check out the link if you want to see those. But it's just one of those games that I have a feeling I'm going to be thinking about for years to come. And there's only one other roguelite that came out this year that I think overtakes No Skin for me. But before we do that, let's go over some honorable mentions. I know a lot of people are going to be talking about Hades 2, and I know it is incredible. I loved the original with how it weaved story and dialogue into super satisfying action goodness, and I know the sequel is even better. I just never even beat the first game, so I haven't gotten around to it, but I do know it's amazing. Also, Elden Ring Night Rain is something I've heard many people shout about from the rooftops. I haven't played Elden Ring, and so obviously I've not played this standalone DLC expansion, but apparently it's kind of like a roguelike, and it's really good. So for people that are into Elden Ring, you are definitely probably in love with that. And lastly, Steve's Warehouse is a game I wanted to include on my list, I just didn't have enough room, and it's like a Suika fruit game, but as a roguelike, and I just think that's pretty fun. But without further ado, let's get into my number one roguelike/roguelite of 2025. And for my top roguelite of 2025, we have Blueprints. Blueprints is unlike any other roguelite I have ever played in my entire life. It combines a puzzle game with the replayability of a roguelite, creating a game that feels like the first of its kind. You are the heir of a super wealthy family and are promised an entire mansion and wealth beyond your entire dreams if you can simply find the 46th room in a 45-room mansion. And every run has you drafting rooms like tiles, trying to make it to the end while also slowly uncovering secrets upon secrets upon secrets. I mean, I had to keep an entire thing of sticky notes with me during the playthrough. I also still have an entire folder of screenshots from when I played. And although the runs will eventually end in dead ends, or you might run out of footsteps or food, every run you are slowly discovering hints and gaining knowledge about a huge number of secrets you might be trying to uncover at any one given time. And there's meta progression you can earn once you figure out some secrets that will make future runs easier or allow you to get further, and it is just truly a one-of-a-kind game. And there's like hundreds of hours of gameplay after the credits roll for extremely dedicated secret hunters, but I'm actually not a super big puzzle game fan, so I just played to the end credits and called it a day. But the fact that I, of all people, am putting a puzzle game at the number one spot on my list is really saying something. It's something you need to experience for yourself, and something that puzzle game fans especially will definitely love, as long as you can deal with some of the RNG that comes with roguelikes. And there we go, my top 10 roguelikes and roguelites of 2025. I've had such a fun year covering all of these amazing games, and I definitely want to know what some of y'all's favorite roguelikes of the year were, especially if I didn't include it on my list, so let me know in the comments down below. And like I said, if you want to see us play any of these games on this list, check out the links in the description down below, and stay tuned for my top 10 games of the year that will be coming out later this month. And if you're going to be grinding out any of these roguelites, then I wish you all luck, and I'll see you all next time.